Good afternoon. Welcome to the market recap. If you're surprised to see me, Dan is a little bit busy today. He asked me to cover for him. It's always a pleasure. Still Tuesday, August the 10th. My son Luke's 22nd birthday. I can't believe it. He's that big and that old already. Hopefully, you've had a good trading day. Some decent opportunities. There are certainly some interesting things going on in the markets. As far as the news of the day, it seems the infrastructure package has passed the Senate, is on its way to the House, where it seems like the real fun is going to start. Lots of arguing over the next bill, which they want to pass through before or at the same time as the infrastructure bill. So a little bit of infighting going to be going on in the House of Representatives as as they all get ready to kind of go up into a break through the better part of September. So we'll see what they get done. Anyways, as far as the markets are concerned, prices recover in crude oil and leave an island low. This should be interesting. You're going to see that in the charts here very shortly. Even the S&P's price pushed value to another all-time high. NASDAQ, however, not so lucky. NASDAQ failure to reach its all-time high. Is it a buy the rumor, sell the news effect with the infrastructure? A lot of it, some of it probably going into some of these tech companies. There's been a lot of speculation that it's going to pass. When it passed, the market moved the opposite direction. The gold. It enjoys a nice kind of relaxing hangover day, as we were talking about in the forecast this morning. I like Dan's view of that as just kind of the market taking a day off. The euro downside continuation, but on lower volume. We have to watch the open interest tomorrow morning to see if money was coming into that short side today. And the 10-year, we were talking this morning about a potential value area special situation play. There was no acceptance inside value. Price continued to leak to the downside today as yields continued to leak to the upside, as always. Make sure you hit that lucky like button. Share, comment, question, feedback, and heckling are always welcome. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get notifications when we do go live. Got to say good afternoon to everyone. Brian, Brett, Jorg, Vince, Ricardo. Happy birthday to Luke. Yes, level 2. Hey, what's up? How are you, level 2? Hopefully things are going well for you. Former Vice President Joe Biden is here. Good morning. It's been a while. Great to see you. Happy birthday to your son. Thank you very much, Mr. Biden. NM nailed the short today and then covered it and went back against me for 35 seconds. No, doesn't mean you're a bad trader. We all have good trades. We all have bad trades. It's getting out of the losers and letting the winners pay you a little bit that makes us more and more profitable. Good afternoon, Lemur. Theo, good morning. Always a pleasure to see you. I said good morning. It is afternoon. I feel like this day has pretty much flown by. I'm going to remind everybody that the group coaching is tomorrow. Let me put the link in there so you can go ahead and register for that. As always, one of my favorite parts of the week. Still have not been able to solidify whether the good doctor is going to be with us tomorrow for market therapy. I'm going to go forward like he is. And there is the link for that. Fanny, good to see you. Yeah, it's my son's birthday, actually, today, Fanny, and I will let him know that all of you were asking about him. Hey, still green on the day. Sure beats being a loser. I hate to say even loser. It's too negative a connotation. We're not losers. Just sometimes we don't succeed in making money every day. And that's just part of it. Losses are just part of being a trader. Keep them small. Glad you're still green on the day. Very nice. All right. Why don't we jump into the charts? I'm not quite sure. don't remember exactly how Dan does this. I know he goes over some news, some history. Let's jump into the charts, though. Okay, so the daily in crude oil, we've got this really put out there. Let's make it so everybody can see. We had an attempt to close below the weekly kickoff low, which is 6,700 in the crude oil. Last night we did close below it. We closed at 66.48, but between 66.50 and 66, lots of rejection in the past there. The market recovering today, pushing prices higher, and leaving an island low. What is an island low? Here's the move yesterday. The market pushed lower in the regular trading hour and in the London session, and then recovered part of that, losing 13,000 estimated, approximately, in open interest on this move to the downside and the recovery to the upside. By the time we opened today, we were back above weekly kickoff level. We gapped to the range from yesterday. We gapped away from that range today, and we were unable to close the gap. That is what's creating this island bottom here, which can be a pretty significant reversal pattern. Gap to it, gap away from it. It can be, like I mentioned, a pretty powerful change in direction. This morning, the market really kind of refilling a gap that Fred Decker told us about yesterday. We have now filled that gap. We did not fill the gap to yesterday's range. We gap to it, gap away, island low. The market continues to push to the upside. We talked about this morning the fact that we were opening between these 2 points of control here that were unchecked. We may fall into some sort of repair. We didn't. We actually came up to repair this naked point of control, leaving this one on the island low to contend with at some time in the future. So I'm going to take this one, make it not a ray, just so we know that this is no longer a naked point of control. We've already checked it in regular trading hours. Haven't seen the API yet. No, it's not quite out, probably about 22 minutes, and we're waiting for EIA tomorrow. And don't forget, the crude is in rollover. We'll be moving to the October contract at some point middle of next week. It's going to change how we view volume and open interest. Here's the S&Ps. S&Ps largely unfazed by anything that happened or came out today. A couple of dojis here, a little indecision up at this level. We did manage to put in a new all-time high. The new all-time high now kind of coming off back into range from yesterday, back into value from today. Take a look at the 30. So here's that all-time high. Regular trading hours, so we're not chasing it in the overnight. API is 4.3 million boost. That might put a little pressure on. All right, so here's the day. Value moving higher. We see Delta continuing to move lower over the session today, but not a big number. Market really kind of coming off the highs nicely here after being unable to maintain price above last week's high, which is the all-time high. We're really kind of range bound here still, ladies and gentlemen. As long as we stay, I think above this point of control and inside and below that all-time high, last week's high, we may still continue to be a little bit range bound here. Level 2 is wondering, are we exhausting to the upside in the E-mini S&Ps? Lots of speculation on that. Timing is, of course, going to be of the essence if we're going to have any kind of significant pullback. But, one of the things that we're seeing here is when we had like 9 days of balance here, the market is attempting to move higher, and I'm not all that impressed necessarily with the momentum from this move. We have an area of balance here, and this new area of balance kind of overlaps it. It does act as though the auction to the upside may be tiring. We need new participants to the upside auction for it to continue. We've seen our auctioneer doing an awful lot of pandering up in this area, so it's a very valid question and thought level too. If I knew it, I would tell you, but nobody knows for sure 100%. We still have a higher low and a higher high from yesterday. Here's that 30-minute again. So, the market opens, spans. We put in the high here. Half hour later, we put in the low here, and we rotate most of the rest of the day. Fact that value is higher is important. Think about that tomorrow, and as you do your homework for tomorrow, tonight, or in the morning. Okay, the NASDAQ nowhere near as successful to the upside as the S&Ps were today. But again, we're still seeing kind of areas of consolidation versus straight out major pullbacks to even out inventory here. Again, I wish I could tell you, I wish somebody could tell me what's going to happen tomorrow. The fact that we pulled off this much in the NASDAQ today after the Senate passed the infrastructure bill, there's a lot more barriers to it actually getting through the House and getting on the president's desk, and I think that's part of the reason why some of the tech-heavy NASDAQ have turned a little bit tail to the downside. Take a look at the 30-minute. The market opens, takes a brief look to the upside. The upside auction ends abruptly and brings us right back down through the last two session ranges. Okay, we've had very narrow, almost normal trading day ranges for the last couple of sessions. We did add 2,000 in open interest yesterday, while the market was really just sort of rotational. It's going to be interesting to see how the market, how the open interest looks tomorrow morning for this product. Gold. Here we go. So a pretty quick dip below our weekly kickoff low, which is 1754. We tested down to a previous swing low yesterday. The market finding an area of comfort today, pretty much right between the previous, our weekly kickoff high from today and that swing low, just really finding a way to kind of rest up, get its breath, and look for the next opportunity. Perhaps that opportunity will come tomorrow. The big move to the downside, of course, happened in the overnight, perhaps a little bit overdone with the lack of liquidity that was present, at 5:30 the night before last in Central Time. It's just not a lot of participants there, so this was probably a little bit overdone. We are holding below that weekly kickoff low. The longer we sit down there, the longer it's going to mark acceptance, and this could and should be resistance if we get the opportunity to look at it from the other side. Today, opening in range and value, we did leave the opening range at the high of the regular trading hour session initially, bringing us, to a point in space down here before buyers backed off. I mean, look at how the buyers backed off yesterday before we even got into the regular trading hour session. Take a look at the euro. Okay, potential, I think more potential for continuation to the downside in the euro than even in gold this morning, because we did add some open interest, 4,100 almost to be exact, as far as this move to weekly kickoff low, finding resistance there this today, a little bit lower volume. Of course, I'll be watching open interest in the morning before making any really good decisions as far as what I think about the euro and its future direction. It is certainly breaking or continuing downside structure in a medium to longer time frame. Take a look at the 30. Major move happened in the overnight. Gap never closed. Falling range bound. What happens tomorrow if in the overnight we move price higher and we open tomorrow back above this level? Is that going to create another island bottom that could be a significant reversal pattern similar to what we did in crude oil today? It's always a possibility, something to be thinking about. We don't really have any spikes to be thinking about as far as continuation. Watch that open interest. And, okay, we were looking at the 10-year as possibly having a test down to this trend line, which it did. Looks like it got a little bit down through it, but these trend lines are, a little bit loosely drawn. 1, 2, 3 points of contact now. We break this trend line tomorrow. The next break of structure would be the weekly kickoff low, which is 133.07. Not too far off, about 10 ticks away. If that's the case, then the upside momentum or upside structure that we've been holding, which is almost slightly broken already, will be broken. We're going to have to see rates creep, continue to creep to the upside if we're going to see pricing move back lower and a break of the current market state. 30-minute chart. This morning we talked about the fact that we opened out of range and out of value. Okay, the market opened, came back into range, back into value, but with no real time or volume spent inside of value from yesterday. It showed more of a rejection of value from yesterday than any form of acceptance, which pushed our market here continuing to the downside as rates continue to leak to the upside, if you will, if you'll pardon the adjective or the verb I chose to use there. I guess that would have been a verb, right? All right. Always interesting opportunities. Level 2, talking about, yes. Yeah, I'll tell Luke you said happy birthday, level 2. Drones, stop hunt on fresh longs. Scott, good afternoon, level 2. The main reason I suspect that we may be exhausted, there may be exhaustion, is closing Delta, and was looking at final open interest and see some contracts rolling into December already, which is odd. Well, we've got the September to December rollover is going to be the second Thursday in December. So, we've basically got an entire month, 3 weeks before rollover. So, suspecting it's smart money rolling. It's a deliberate move. Could also be right used as bait. Write-off used as bait. Yeah, sorry, late to the chat. That's okay, Charles. Any ideas to trade gold tomorrow for the CPI report? Hope to catch a nice move. Hang on a second. Okay. It's probably our most important release this week, aside from possible PPI final tomorrow. Jobless claims is every Thursday. We get to see that. As far as what the reaction is going to be in gold, I wish I could tell you. One thing I do know for sure is I've taken enough positions into economic releases to know that I don't really want to do that anymore. I've had some really great days and some really horrible days. And if I were to add them all up, I think I'm about even. So I've decided in my old age, if you will, to avoid the stress, keep as much hair as brown as I can, and not hold positions into those situations. Gold is in a kind of a strange situation because as the store of value of history, it seems to be somewhat taken over a little bit by some of the cryptocurrencies, as they're really kind of holding value. It's going to be strange, man. It's going to be strange. Okay, sure. Seems to be a favor downside, but depends on CPI numbers. Yeah. Stacking bananas. Yeah, I hope everybody did crush it today. And Miguel Gutierrez has a question. Sorry for the. There are no dumb questions, first off, Miguel. Any question you have is something that somebody may not even thought of yet. So open interest works like this. These are futures contracts. It's not like we're buying stock or a piece of a company and we're depending on the dividends or the value of that company to increase to create the value so we can sell that stock off at a higher price and make profit. In futures, there's a buyer and a seller that create a contract. For every long, there is one short. One long and one short equals one in open interest. This is a zero-sum game. For every tick made, let's say I buy one from you, Miguel, one crude oil. I buy one from me, you're short it, I'm long it. If price goes down one tick, I'm going to lose $10, you're going to make $10. Now, the way we look at open interest is a part of the auction process is, if price is going higher on higher volume and volume interest and open interest is continuing to rise, we're looking at that as a pretty healthy auction process that's likely to continue in that direction. But as open interest or volume starts to fall off in that direction, it's indicating that fewer and fewer people are interested in continuing this upside auction, and it may change soon. So open interest is something that I think is a very important thing for traders to be watching in a longer time frame, and even as day traders, for us to be able to recognize that the auction process in a longer time frame puts us in the driver's seat. If the market's moving higher over time and the volume and open interest sustain or continue higher, I'm going to be looking for opportunities to buy that market on weakness because we still have a healthy upside auction. One of the first signs of an auction that is beginning to age, kind of like what level 2 is saying is, is this auction getting a little bit tired to the upside? We're going to see it probably in a drop in volume and a loss in open interest. So as money continues to roll in to a product, it's more likely to go in that direction. As money starts to come out in that direction, more of a change is high. There's a higher probability of potential change. Nothing works the same way twice. Once we have the right answer, the market's going to change the questions, and 1 + 1 don't equal 2 in this. It's just the way it is. It's ambiguous. So we got to take the tools and learn the tools to help us look for those asymmetric opportunities, smaller risks for bigger rewards. Miguel, we talk about open interest every day here on the forecast and sometimes on the recap. There's a link here that will take you to a daily bulletin that will show you what open interest is and volume and all the other information about any of the products that we're looking at here. But Miguel, come to the group coaching tomorrow. Pose that question. What do I need to know about open interest? And I'll be happy to answer it then. We get a little bit long on time here. I know folks got a lot of things that they probably want to do this evening. So I'm going to put that link back in here for the group coaching session tomorrow. We've also have the link for market therapy, and we're hoping that the good doctor can join us. If not, there's always the group coaching. 1 o'clock tomorrow, Central Time. Ask the question, and we'll get a lot deeper into it during the group coaching. You are more than welcome, Miguel. De nada. Okay. Okay. We'll see you there then, Miguel. All right. So I think that's going to be it. I do have a couple of cool things to mention as far as mostly this day in history. Leo Fender was born on this day in 1909. Leo Fender is the inventor and founder of the Fender Electric Music Instrument Company. He's the creator of the Telecaster and the Stratocaster. 1947, Ian Anderson of Jethro Tull is born. And it's kind of funny because there's 1969 Led Zeppelin. During a North American tour, they appeared at the San Diego Sports Arena with Jethro Tull as their supporting act. I love the fact that they talk about what Led Zeppelin did in 1969 on this. And there was something else here. I remember. Where did it go? (1943), a gentleman by the name of James Griffin was born. He was a guitarist and vocalist for the band Bread. David Gates was really the main songwriter, but apparently James Griffin is the one that wrote one of their most famous songs, "Make It With You." I love Bread. I think they're just a great band, but I'm old. Kids these days don't want to listen to that anymore. It's very melodic and I don't know, relaxing. I like it. All right. Level 2. All right, well, pop in once a week. We love to see you when you get the chance. Yeah, the ZZ Top documentary on Netflix. I bet it's awesome. And, we just lost the bass player, what was it, last week. So it's, I'm going to have to check that out. Thanks for pointing that out, Mr. Former Vice President. All right, let's get a good night's sleep. Be ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday again, where we're looking for the CPI numbers to come out. Of course, EIA Petroleum Status Report. A couple of more talking feds. Who knows what they're going to say? Jobless claims and PPI on Thursday, and that's pretty much going to wind up the week. We have import-export prices on Friday, as well as the Michigan consumer sentiment numbers coming out. So tomorrow, Thursday, are more important as far as economic numbers. I'm going to get some good rest. I'm going to go celebrate with my son his 22nd birthday, and we'll be here tomorrow with you, 8 a.m. Central, bright and cheery, same bat time, same bat channel. Get a good night's sleep. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. We'll see you in the morning. Have a great night.